No agent is no agent is good if you don't have tools and assets available to that agent when it needs to run. So that's where MCP servers come in. So MCP servers allow agents to access, various tools, resources, prompts, etc., so that agents can perform actions on your behalf. So agents themselves can have context to do things for you, and then it's got sets of tools where it can read data, write data, etc. And so on Celigo, given that we're an iPaaS platform and we've historically already been connecting with all of your hundreds or thousands of applications, right? You can expose all those applications to LLM clients like OpenAI, Gemini, Claude, right? And from that, they can perform actions on your behalf. So you have a central governance layer within Celigo where you'd manage all those MCP servers. They're accessing your data that's in Celigo by calling all of your various applications that you already are connecting to within Celigo, like your ERP systems, your CRM systems, your support ticket systems, your sales, Gong, Zoom transcripts, and whatnot. And what Celigo's done over the past quarter is we've added tool publishing. So we've added a new resource type that we'll go through a little bit later in the call in more detail, but tools that you can attach to MCP servers where you've got context for its input and context for its output. And the tool does exactly as you described. It's going to write data to some system or read data from some system. Additionally, because Celigo is going to be the governance layer here for MCP servers, we've added in a new Celigo identity for MCP servers. Whenever you go to authenticate to an MCP server within Claude or Gemini, you are directed to Celigo to authenticate against your Celigo user persona or your user profile. And then you come back into Claude and you are an authenticated user because you have that access granted to you within the Celigo environment. And then lastly, we've implemented MCP prompts so that you can have reusable prompt assets whenever you're using workflows like sending emails and you need like formal responses written the same way each time, or you need to give LLMs context into how to use the sets of tools that you've made available for them. And with that, Nate's going to go through MCP servers a little bit more.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, that's exactly why you would use MCP servers for. And so why would you use Celigo in particular for MCP? We know that lots of SaaS companies are offering MCPs specific for their application, and allows you to connect to that data. So it really comes down to the connectivity and control that Tyler mentioned, because Celigo lets users build their own tools that are then serviced through the MCP. You can create tools that otherwise would not exist. So in the case where apps don't have MCP servers, you can build those tools to have that functionality. But in the case where MCP servers do exist, there's a concept of like a composite tool, where it's not just one tool that you're interacting, one application. You may need data and insight from multiple sources to be available in that tool. So you can think about designing an MCP server around a particular persona. So if it's someone that's in marketing that needs access to Salesforce data, Marketo data, HubSpot data, you want to offer all of that data up into an MCP server that is available for them to do their job, right? This is especially powerful when you're trying to generate insights or work with these applications, especially when in your single client, you can have all those tools available and giving the right access to the right people. So making sure that if a tool is not designed for that persona or you don't want them to have access to the data, Celigo again gives you that ability to control how those tools work. And you can build them very quickly, right? The faster time to value, you can set it up on the platform. You have that governance, and it's really future-proofing this, where based off of the personas that need the access to this data, they'll have the tools available.